Good morning. The sun is out in full force and I literally can barely open my eyes. We're trying the new Huda Beauty foundation. I feel like I manifested this in myself. Recently-ish, like a couple months ago, I filmed a full face of Huda Beauty makeup and I was talking about the foundation. I'm pretty sure it was in that video. And I was saying how I like it, but it's just a bit heavy, you know, compared to what I'm used to these days. Like I like something a little bit more lightweight. And then lo and behold, they announced a rebrand. They announced Huda Beauty taking over the company again. She's created this new foundation. Apparently, I think she's been working on it since like 2020 or no, 2022, or I can't remember. I watched her video on it a couple years now anyways. And I just like the keywords that buzz around my head is she said that it's like lighter weight, but still blurring and like coverage. And to be honest, like I mentioned in another recent video of mine, I'm low-key into like the matte face, well not matte, but like more of a satin face with like a sparkly highlighter right now. I don't know why, I just am. And so literally I cannot express how excited I am for this product. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it online already. I literally got this in the mail yesterday afternoon and I was like, this is what I'm filming. Like I knew I wanted to film today and this is what I wanted to film. So it comes with, well, the PR package came with like the primer, the foundation, the new Easy Bake powder. You guys know I love that powder. It also came with a brush. I'll show you in a second. It says here this is not a filter and you can see how like blurred this product makes their skin look. Oh, here we go. In 2021, when I decided to stop using filters or Photoshop, I had no idea it would influence the way I created products. Making that decision completely changed the way we make products at Huda Beauty. Introducing the Easy Routine, the ultimate no filter needed ultra blurred complexion. I mean, who doesn't want blurred skin? Like everyone wants their face to look filtered. That's one reason I love her like these Easy Bake powders. Like I love these because they make my complexion look like Photoshop, and I even use it just like on my face, like just to set my makeup sometimes. Like it's so pretty. Create this weightless real life filter foundation with the most beautiful buildable blur. It's got 1.5% skin smoothing niacinamide and pore blurring silica. What's going on with my voice? The serum like foundation gives the most blurred airbrushed finish. Oh, exciting. I just assumed that the primer would be like a silicone based primer, but it's silicone free. It's got a jelly like texture that gives a soft focused finish, and it's infused with antioxidant rich milk thistle extract and moisturizing glycerin to control oil. So that's meant to like blur pores, smooth texture, and keep your makeup fresh. I'm not gonna bore you with the details, although I don't think this is boring. I'm very interested in this, but I know you guys will just want to see how it applies. Quickly, here's an overview of the shade range. I did see on her, oh, why can't you even, it's not coming out very well. You can look it up online. And then here are some of the medium and deep skin tones. I did get sent 3 different shades, so I'll swatch those shades on my skin for you guys so you can see how they each look in case you are a similar skin tone to me. And this is the PR package I got. So it came in this awesome bag, and then you open it up and inside we have the primer, the 3 shades of Easy Blur, one of the new Easy Bake powders, and a base brush, which I'll probably use today. Normally I just use like my own brushes. I don't know, I just feel like I want to use like the whole combo. I am still gonna do half my face with primer and half without because I want to see what the foundation does by itself without the blurring primer, and I have moisturized already. So my skin's prepped. Hair clips are XO Beauty. These are the best if you don't want to like create dents in your hair when you're like holding your makeup back. And I've been taking such good care of my skin. I feel like it's finally starting to clear up. This huge like pimple that was like real deep is almost gone. These are just marks now. It's feeling a lot better. I feel like my skin's a little bit itchy. Like I think I actually have kind of like allergies as well. Like my eyelids have been really itchy. I've got really bad hay fever, but yeah, I think it's actually affecting my skin. Across my lash line has been like real itchy, and like around my like up here and around my nose has been real itchy. So here is the packaging. So the packaging just reminds me of like those old like Maybelline primers, Smashbox primers, like just like a squeezy tube. Nothing wrong with that. It looks nice and classy, nice and simple, travel friendly. Would look good in your kit. Like it's just very simple. So, oh my god, silicone free. I'm so happy. I mean, granted, I haven't tried a silicone based primer in like ages. It's got a little seal. So maybe I like them these days. Who knows? I haven't tried them in ages, but typically I used to just prefer, it's clear. I used to just prefer like moisturizing textures rather than like the silicone textures. And I do think it depends like what foundation you're pairing with them anyways. This is clearly made to use with the foundation. It feels quite thick, like, yeah, it feels like silicone, but it's not silicone. Like, it feels like it's like filling. Do you know what I mean? I'm just switching on a light on this side because I have a light on this side and you can see this is my moisturized skin. It's quite like dewy. This side, it's still got like, you can still see a slight bit of dew with the light bouncing off, but it's much more mattified. I would say it, yeah, it must be mattifying. I literally did not get any on my forehead, so we'll do a little bit more. Whoa. Okay, it's actually like kind of pink and that's way too much. Let me do a extreme close-up so you can kind of see my skin texture. I don't really know like how much you're actually going to be able to see, but that is the non-primed side, just moisturized. And then here is the primed side. I think because it kind of mattifies, it does look like it's, you know, reduced the look of my pores, but I think we'll be able to see better once the foundation's on. So let's do it. Doesn't feel drying. It feels lightweight. I can't feel it on my face now that it's like on. If I rub my finger on my face, I can kind of feel that texture, but it's comfortable. Right, they've sent me the shades Chai 210B, Custard 220N, and Macaroon 230N. And obviously like these are like normally my shades, but I don't have any fake tan on today. Not ideal. I should have put some on really this morning, but I just actually couldn't be bothered. Like, do you feel me? So here's the packaging of the foundation. Like, again, I feel like I've seen this kind of packaging before, but I'm not mad at it. It's nice and compact. It's classy looking. It's simple. It works. It reminds me of like the Dior, what was that Dior foundation I used to love back in the day? Oh my gosh, throwback. It's got 1.5% niacinamide. It says to shake it well. I can't hear if it's shaking. Like, it doesn't sound liquidy, but there we go. I'll probably end up using this shade today, which is Chai, but let's just open all of them and swatch them. If I love this, I will 100% pick up another shade for like when I don't have fake tan on, because I have noticed lately I am leaning into like my paler skin sometimes. I still feel the best with fake tan on. I'm not going to kid myself, but I am trying to like learn to rock, you know, my natural skin tone more often on camera, because I rock it all the time like IRL, but not really on YouTube. So I'm just going to swatch them on this side of my face. It comes with like the kind of, you know, squeezy, what do you call that? I don't even know. Who cares? I'm just going to put a little bit on. Oh, it looks very lightweight. Like the way it comes out, very like liquidy, you know? Reminds me, yeah, of like, I forget what, was it like the Vital Lumiere by Chanel or Dior? Which was it? I can't even remember. That was so long ago, but I used to love that foundation. Oh my God, I low-key want to buy some more now. Like of like, was it Chanel? Or, I think it was Chanel. Was it Chanel? Oh my gosh, I've not used any of like that kind of makeup in years. So yeah, that's Chai. I actually think it might work because I'm not like super pale. I don't know, we'll soon see. This one is Custard, which I think is normally like my tan kind of shade. Chai looks maybe a little bit more like olive, like greenier. I could be wrong. Custard looks a little bit more like golden. And here is the third shade, which is called Macaroon 230. This one's neutral. What does the B stand for on Chai? Because I guess that's the undertone. Custard and Macaroon both say neutral or N. I'm assuming that means anyway, who cares? You can look up the shades on the website, and I always use foundation services like Foundation, and of course it'll be in stores as well. Is it Sephora that carries? I should know these things. The brush is called the Base Brush, and it looks beautiful. It's like a, like if you're comparing to like my brand, if you're familiar, it's kind of like a round top kabuki brush vibe. We'll do the primed side first. I have no idea how much to use. Let's just start there. Don't squeeze too hard. It comes out very easily. I'm just gonna like do a light pressure to like spread it. Ooh. It feels like I can't even feel it. Like I actually can't feel it. It does not feel anything remotely similar to the previous foundation that they did. Like, it's not even comparable. I think this was such a smart business move, because I do feel like most people are kind of getting used, like ever since like COVID and people were like, you know, in their homes, like they just got over the feeling of thick foundation. Like ever since then, I just feel like we've all been about like still full coverage of course sometimes, but like nothing that feels, this is not the time, son. Thank you. You know, we just don't want heavy thick feeling foundation these days. Color is clearly a little bit too dark, but look, here it is like a little bit darker, and I do think it looks very flattering. You can clearly see like I have like some texture on my skin, but it looks beautiful on top of it. I feel like it is quite blurring, honestly. Like that looks so pretty. I'm excited to see how it looks on the non-prime side. Like that's with the primer too. I feel like they do work very well together. I'm gonna put more on because I just want to see where we can go with this. We'll do some on the forehead as well. And I also need to do my neck because it does not match. If I just had like a tiny bit more fake tan on, it'd be perfect. I know it's very dark right now, but I'm just gonna leave it because the sun's coming and going anyway. And at least you can kind of see the texture better when it's dark anyway. I mean, I definitely think it looks quite blurring. It's nice. It's not like super matte. It's not crusty looking whatsoever because I hate matte crusty skin. It still looks really healthy. It's just more of like a matte satin. It's not like matte, you know? It's actually beautiful, and this is exactly the type of look I want if I want slightly more matte skin, and then you can mattify it further with powder, you know? By the time you watch this video, it is available, by the way, or it will be like tomorrow by the time I upload this. I'll link it below either way. $48, I'm assuming that's US. I'm just trying to see what they claim like the finish is. It just says ultra blurred airbrush complexion. Yeah, it's a very natural finish. I do want to try it with a different brush as well. I'm gonna stop there coverage wise. I might add some more soon, but I just want to like go ahead on the other side. Oh, should I use a different brush? I'll use the same brush, and then I might do like another very thin layer with a flat top just to see how much coverage we can get. I love the smell of it. Like it doesn't really have like a smell. It doesn't smell like, you know how some of Huda Beauty's products smell like very fragrance? I feel like it's fragrance free, but just the natural smell it has, like it reminds me of like, not sunscreen, but like that kind of angle. I don't know. It's nice though. I love it. It smells good. You can't smell it as you're applying it. I just smell it on the brush. Maybe it's the brush. I don't know. I think it still looks beautiful on the unprimed side just with my skincare on. Naturally it's a little bit more glowy this way, but it's still not like a like dewy foundation. Yeah, it does just look very like natural, like it just looks like skin. Before I add any more, I'm like normally on a day-to-day basis I would leave it like this. The only reason I want to apply more is for you guys to see if it is buildable to like a more like full coverage. I feel like this is a nice medium coverage right now. Here is the primed side up close, and the unprimed side naturally because it's a little bit glowier. I feel like you can see some of the like texture a little bit more, but it's still beautiful. Like it still blurs, it still looks so nice. I like both sides. I think it just comes down to like if you want to pair a primer with it or not. I'm just gonna look super up close. It is sitting a little bit dry on top of dry flaky skin where I've got these old breakouts, you know, when the skin goes all funny. Can't really blame it. I mean, most foundations do that. I definitely like need a little bit more product over my nose, but overall pretty. Obviously I'm distracted because of these under eye circles as well. I actually think I love that primer because at least now, like even with other foundations, I feel like it's going to work great if I do want a little bit more of like a matte satin kind of look. It's really pretty. Okay, let's build it up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more on my nose. I'm going to add just like, I don't know, a little bit more everywhere really. We'll just see what happens. See if it gets cakey. Using my flat face brush now because this is what I love to use. Just gonna stipple it all over first. Oh my god, I just got foundation all over my tit. Careful with this, it is very liquidy and I should have known better. It has flick potential. Now I will be wearing this over the next 12 hours so we can see how long wear it is. Yeah, if you layer it up like this, you're just reaching that fuller coverage. It still looks nice. Naturally, it looks a little bit heavier, but it still feels like, to me, it feels invisible still. Like it's so lightweight. It's very comfortable. It has not made it feel gross. And that's what I love. You know, if I'm trying to find a full coverage, that is key. Still looks beautiful over like texture and pores and everything. It doesn't look, yeah, it doesn't look too heavy. I don't think, in my opinion, it obviously looks heavier because it's like fuller coverage, and that's just what happens. But I still feel like my skin looks like it just looks pretty. I don't feel like I'm wearing a mask. I need to do my neck. Probably gonna be like my summer shade if I don't have fake tan on. Here's the unprimed side up close with you know, 2+ layers. And just to be clear, like, I'd be happy stopping at 1 layer. Like, it looked beautiful, but this is just to show you guys for the review how it layers up. I feel like on my nose it looks a little bit funny, hey. To be fair, my nose has so many friggin' blackheads on it right now, but I feel like it's separated a little bit right here. So I'm just gonna tap over it. Yeah, if I flick my brush, because I had a little hair and I flip my brush, look, it like kicks up. I do wonder what this would be like with a sponge, because I feel like it would lay it down so nicely, but on the other hand, the formula is so light that perhaps it would just like soak up in the sponge, do you know what I mean? Right, well, first impression, I think it looks beautiful. It feels nice on the skin, and if this lasts all day, I think it's gonna be a go-to. Both brushes work well, by the way, so I think you could just use whatever brushes you already have. Like, I don't think you need this brush. It does feel good though, it's nice and soft. Yeah, I feel like this foundation doesn't like super dry patches, but pores, it's fine. Like, it glides really nicely over pores, and like texture, it's just the dry patches. It does cling to a little bit. Under my nose, like, I've got a little bit of dry skin and it's kind of like catching, do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I've learned from my last video, my under eyes are not chill right now. So we're going full coverage. I'm using the Shape Tape. Yeah, that blended on top beautifully. Now I'm going to use some of the new Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I'm just going to use this under the eyes like I normally would, and then I'll set the rest of my face like I normally would compared to all my other first impressions, aka using my MAC Studio Fix powder, just so we can keep it consistent with, you know, how I always film these. So the new, is this the new one? Have they not changed the logo yet? Like, this is old, this is new. Okay, have they not rolled out the logo? This has got the new logo on it, but then the products inside have the old logo. So they must still be like, yeah, rolling it out. Yeah, look, see, this is what I was expecting to see, this powder here with the new packaging, but this is the old packaging, so I don't know if they've changed the powder or not. Whatever, we're just gonna use one I've already got because that's a waste to open it when I've already got it. We'll use this one. This is a cupcake. I'm just tapping off the excess. Applying it under the eye. I'm just going to do a second layer. By the way, I started filming this at like 9:30. It's now 10. So I will wear this till 9:30/10 o'clock tonight. Alright, I've got a little bit of MAC NC20 powder. And I'm going to do what I always do in my first impressions, which is just tap on a nice light layer. I don't use setting spray on my first impressions. I feel like setting spray makes everything look better. But of course, if I end up liking this, you'll see me using it with setting powder or setting spray, sorry, in a different video. Like, I will use it again. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. So as expected, that mattified it a little bit. I do find this powder amazing though, because it always kind of settles into whatever foundation you put it on top of. So in a couple of hours when we do a check-in, I mean, I don't know for sure, but often what happens is the powder kind of sinks in and like the makeup looks even better. Like, I just feel like it wears so nicely and it just looks beautiful when it really meshes in with the foundation and your skin and everything just merges. But look how like flawless that looks with powder on. Wow, my skin feels so flawless, and with 2 layers of foundation and setting powder, it still does not feel heavy and crusty. Like, the heaviest part of my makeup right now would be my like eyelids, because like I said, I've got like allergies and I swear it's making all the skin on my eyelids like play up. My face itself feels lightweight, like fine. And I do feel like my skin just looks so blurred. Don't know what this lighting's doing. It's making me look jaundiced. Color balance is all wrong, but you can still see my imperfections, but it all just looks like pretty. Obviously with the powder on now, like this is like full coverage. I would definitely just use 1 layer normally, but even like full coverage, if that's what you like to achieve, like there you go. I'm going in with some cherry blossom cake just to really brighten my under eyes and inner corners. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup because I've got to go. I'm actually picking up my car today. I'm so excited. We finally got a new car. It's been months of searching and trying to decide. So if you want to head over to my vlog channel to find out what we got, feel free. I'll link my vlog channel down below. It's just Shaaanxo vlogs. I know that looks really bright right now, but trust me, it'll look good soon. So far, I like it. I agree. It makes your skin look blurred and filtered. I also do agree that it feels very lightweight. I think the primer, like I actually really like the primer, which is surprising for me because I don't normally like something very mattifying, but it actually just made my skin look really pretty. And I want to try it with like other foundations to see how it works. But obviously we'll do that in some future videos. I'll see you guys soon with the full makeup. Okay, I finished my makeup. I filmed a little like TikTok situation. I'm just adding some blue lip gloss because I want this lip to be more cool tone. Here is the completed makeup. Oh my gosh, my skin looks so good. I would say I definitely do not love the foundation where I have dry skin, like I said before. I am definitely going to keep an eye on that situation throughout the day. But like just around here where I've got like congestion and like just dead skin buildup, like I am using chemical exfoliants and stuff, but you know, it's a process. My skin's been really bad lately. Just over those areas where I've got like those drier, flakier areas, it clings to a lot more, but overall it looks so smooth. Yeah, I've got like a lot of dry skin through my eyebrow too, which looks kind of less than perfect right now. Zoom you in. Like my skin's been quite irritated through here. Once again, I don't know if it's allergies or what, but yeah, over that area it's not so good, but on my cheeks and everything it looks pretty nice, and I definitely overall still like it, you know, but it's just, I don't think it's for super dry skin, if that makes sense, or like flaky skin more so. My skin at the moment is like pretty normal, but it's got some dry patches. I have to say, like the pores down here and here, you can see a difference on the side with primer, and usually this side of my face is a bit smoother naturally, so I think the primer does help to like kind of fill in pores. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but just around here I feel like this side looks more flattering than this side. Also, this is natural lighting now. I don't have any studio lights on. This is just in front of the window, so you can really see how my skin looks. Oh, here comes the sun. It's popping out of a cloud. Here's where it's like a little bit drier, as you can see. Sorry, this is up close up my nostril, and I know that's not exactly ideal. And like a couple of dry patches down here. Overall though, I think it looks beautiful, and I do think with some setting spray I'd probably sort out a lot of those issues. So yeah, if you want to know what makeup I have on my face, check out my TikTok/Instagram reels, or my link down below. I'll have like all the products linked down below if you just want to like products list rather than watching a how-to. I have very shimmery highlight on, and I still think it looks really pretty, even though we all know that shimmery highlighter does accentuate like, you know, skin texture and everything. I still think it looks beautiful. Like overall I'm very happy with how I'm looking. It's 10 to 11. I'm running late. I need to be at the car place at like 11. Whoops. So it's been on for, yeah, like an hour. I'm excited to see how it looks in the next update. So I'll be back in a few hours and we'll just keep checking in throughout the day. All right, we've just picked up the new car. Lighting's like shit now. It was perfect lighting at the stoplight. Wow. And I thought, I'll do a little update for my foundation video. So it's 12:30, so I just thought I'd better pop on here. This camera's not the best because the contrast is all funny, and so like my makeup always looks so much more harsh than normal, but I do feel like it basically looks the same. I definitely think like in some lighting it looks a little bit dry, and even when I checked the footage before on my camera I was like, it does look a bit dry in some areas, so I'm just keeping an eye on that. I still feel very flawless. What do you think of my foundation, Haim?
Yeah,
do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like overall, I'm liking it. I'm not like, oh my god, this is the best foundation I've ever seen, but I am liking it. And I think, like I said with setting spray, like I'm sure it'd be amazing because it would just help to settle in the, like it might be a little bit of the powder on top of the foundation or whatever the case may be. I just think setting spray would make it look like unreal, but maybe we can try that later on. Anyways, that's my update for now. Not much to report on, no fading or anything. Hey guys, we're just using natural lighting. I just got back home, loving the car. It is almost 3 p.m. It's 10 to 3, and here's how my face looks. Now, I have to be transparent. I am using a very shimmery bronzer. I'm using Global Glow by MAC. If you know that one, I'm sure you know that one. So I feel like it is making all my texture look more intense. So I feel like that's probably not fair on the foundation. You can see that situation. This lighting is also not very flattering. It's like actually really dark. Let me put on some fake lights. Zoom you in a little bit. I still think it looks very, very nice. You can see like my natural kind of shine coming through like on my forehead and stuff, especially, you know, the lights are making it look a little bit worse than it really is. But I'm still happy with how it looks. I'm not like, how do I say? I'm not like blowing out of the, you know, water. Up here where I've got like irritated skin, you can see where it looks quite textured over that irritated skin. So I think if you do have like pores and stuff, it looks beautiful over those areas. But if you have like a lot of texture and dry patch, well, just a lot of texture, I think it's not going to make the texture look worse, but it doesn't blur as well in those areas. And any dry areas, it still accentuates like flaky skin if you do have that. So skin prep's obviously going to be very important as always. Like I said, most foundations will do that. It's not a huge surprise, but I'm just letting you know. I think through here, where I've got like the loose powder and everything, oh, it looks so good. Oh my gosh, I just feel like setting spray would sort me out as well. Like it would just melt everything in and look even nicer, but obviously I don't want to use setting spray for a first impression when we're trying to see how long it's gonna last. As far as primed and unprimed, I think it looks, yeah, similar. I think the pores look a little bit smaller on the primed side, like it looks a little bit smoother. Both sides look pretty much the same in terms of like the oiliness, and around my nose on both sides it looks like it's getting a little bit oily already. So what's this, like 5 hours? I mean, I always say in my videos I'd like it to look mint for 6 hours, so we'll see if that's true. I'll probably come back in a couple of hours, but you know, I'll just keep an eye on it so I can let you know. But if it lasts like 9 to 12 hours, then that's a bonus. I definitely think this is one that I will enjoy like trying again in some future videos, like get ready with me videos, or like, you know, experiment with it, maybe try it with a sponge, why not? Try it with different primers, try it with setting spray, it'll be fun to try. I can already tell you I'll definitely use it again. Like, I don't dislike it at all. I think it looks really nice. I just don't know how it's going to compare to my other current favorite, which is the Tear Red Cushion. Ooh, that one's like very glowy and beautiful, but it's a different, you know, it's a completely different look. Hello everyone, it's been 7 hours now, so it's 5:09 p.m. I feel like it basically just looks identical to last time, except I feel like on the unprimed side, I'm a little bit more greasy around the nose than the primed side, but both sides have a little bit of greasiness at this point. Forehead looks very similar on both sides. I'd say a little bit more oil control once again on the forehead on the primed side versus this unprimed side here. I still think my skin looks very like smooth overall, like it still looks reasonably filtered. I feel like at this point, you know, if I mattified around my nose and everything, it'd look a lot nicer though. I'm kind of more oily through the T-zone. That's something that just happened after I had a baby. I don't know, now I just seem to get oily through my T-zone sometimes. But you know, around here, like it still looks perfect. I feel like it hasn't really faded, or if it has, it's like very minimal. My earring is like all cooked. Even around the mouth, like I had ramen for lunch and honestly I was making a mess, like slurping. I thought I'd have like lots of blotches. Sorry if you can hear Porter yelling, he's trying to get in the bath but it's too hot and Hamish is like cooling it down. He's getting grumpy about it. Anyways, yeah, I thought I'd have lots of like little splotches all over my chin, but it's not too bad. Definitely looking a bit more dry too over like this crusty skin I have just through here. It's like at the point where I feel like I could like pull it off. The pores though still looks so good, I think. Here's the unprimed side. Still think it looks so smooth and beautiful. It's, yeah, just the dry skin that puts me off a little bit. So for, is it 7? Yeah, 7 hours. I feel like I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like, you know, if I was having a really long work day or something, an event, or if I wanted my makeup to last all day, I would need to take powder with me. But then again, with setting spray and everything, it might be a little bit better. I'm not going to touch it up yet because I want to see how it continues to wear with no touch-ups for 12 hours, but we will, you know, later on just add a little bit of powder and see how it looks and see if it gets cakey or anything. But for now, like I said, I really like it. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. Hello, I've just had dinner, so my lipstick's a bit yuck. But it is 7:05, 9 hours. We'll keep this update short and sweet. I honestly feel like it looks more or less the same as the last update. On camera, it may look a little bit more oily because of the lights, but I feel like it genuinely looks basically the same as the last update. Hopefully this is like its final form as far as oil goes. I think it still looks pretty much the same here, maybe minimal fading, but really not that bad at all. Maybe a little bit more greasy on like the bridge of my nose, but yeah, more or less looks the same. Close up on how it is kind of wearing. I feel like it's not really breaking down too much in terms of separation. Yeah, the way it's sitting on my actual face, like it's not looking cakey or anything, it's not breaking down or anything, it's mostly just like the oiliness. Definitely just looks a bit iffy over like the texture skin, but this is like, I really want to itch it. Like I feel like it's like a bit of allergies and like I'm getting a little bit like eczema kind of, and it's like itchy. Do you know what I mean? Like my eyelids have been like that lately, and just here like right next to my eyebrow on that side is like kind of itchy. Hey guys, it's 9:40, so that's like more or less 12 hours. Here we are. I'm just itching to get in bed, to be honest. I feel like it still basically looks the same as the last update. Like I feel like it's just the greasiness. I feel like, oh, you can see where I've been wearing my headset. I feel like it hasn't faded very much at all on my cheeks where I get some redness, but obviously where I've had my headset on, I feel like it's kind of wiped off. So if you touch a lot, like, you know, if you've got stuff touching your face, like it's not like completely transfer proof, but it is definitely long wear. I think in terms of the oil, like it doesn't look terrible, but obviously the oil kind of breathes, it comes out, but it hasn't left the foundation looking all broken or anything like that. I'd say it wears nice. The dry skin, we already talked about that. Yeah, it basically just stayed looking the same after that update, like a couple updates ago. I'm just gonna take a little bit of peach pie and I'm gonna take a powder brush and I'm just going to set like one side, like touch up I should say. And this is like a radiant brightening powder. So, you know, it's not super dull and matte, but it did a nice job. It hasn't gone chunky or cakey. Like, it, you know, touches up nicely. Let's go ahead and do the other side, just where I've got some shininess around here. Make this a little bit darker so you can see a bit better. There we go. And then around here. And so I think it, like for me at least, it would be necessary if I was wearing this for a long amount of time, I would need to just take some kind of powder with me to like touch up, but I don't feel the need to add concealer or more foundation, or like, I think it, you know, it reset really nicely. Overall, I do like it 100%, and I feel like this would be nice. Well, I was gonna say in winter, but I guess like in summer, if it's supposed to help control a bit of oil as well, like, did it control my oil? I don't know. I can't wait to play around with it some more. Is it my holy grail foundation? No. But for something that's different to what I have been loving lately, I do like it a lot. You know, it's more matte, satin kind of finish. It feels really nice. It's definitely like ticking a lot of boxes in terms of the comfort. I think I would still wear this like, you know, for a date night and, you know, stuff like that where I just wanted to look really flawless. And I feel like it's, you know, if it was freshly applied and you were wearing it at night, I just think it would look really flattering with like the soft lights and stuff like that. I don't know, that's niche, but you know what I mean. All right, thank you so much to Huda Beauty for sending this to me. I cannot wait to use it some more. By the way, I checked online and it isn't scented, so I was right. It's just like the smell of it though, like of like the raw material, it's like nice. You get 30 ml, it's made in Italy. That's my review. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it like, I don't know, maybe a 7 out of 10 or something. I think if it didn't get so oily, it'd be like an 8 or 9 because I really like the way it looks. I think, like, look how pretty this looks now. Like, so pretty. But it's not a deal breaker for me because, you know, I only get oily after like a few hours anyways. And like I said, we'll try it with setting spray in another video. So I will talk to you guys in my next video. I'm so tired. I feel like I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Bye.